And I'm live. Welcome to, oh man, I did not pull up. I think it's 231. I've been doing this a while, but I keep forgetting to look at these things right before I start, figure out which number I'm on. Hey, whatever. I didn't pop out the chat yet, so I got to do that. If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing to be done. I always wait to the last minute to do things. Pop out chat. There we go. Share the chat screen. Share. Chrome tab, chat, and hey, look at that. Here we go. Very cool. All right. So the shirt is live too. I over on our Teespring. So there's the silliness of the Campbell Soup shirt. It's just something that's sounded so funny. We couldn't help it. We made stickers, which I do have a, see if it'll focus. Maybe. There we go. These are available on our Teespring for those of you that like the Campbell Soup stickers. But hey. Ooh, yes. FreeNAS and TrueNAS. Seeing as they're there in the chat, I guess I should probably start there. We have TrueNAS scale set up. And hold on, I got to open it back up. I closed all the windows and realizing that was one of them I closed, but let me pop it back open. We're actually testing some of the virtualization in it right now for TrueNAS scale. I think I probably need to pop this. There we go. Pop this out and I switch it over. So remove, share screen, window. And yes, we have this up and running, and so far so good. I like it. These ACLs do work now. I think there was a problem when it was in the alpha stages, but now that that's done, we have it set up. We've been importing pools back and forth. I'm probably going to load this on my TrueNAS Mini because, we're doing some testing here. And let me see, virtualization. We have a Windows 10 and a Debian system in here. And our lab system is not particularly fast. So it's not, I can zoom this out a little bit. There we go. It's not particularly fast, but it is really cool. So we're really excited, of course, because this is the thing that just blows my mind a little bit here. Let's see, where can we pull up? Storage shares dash system. Is a terminal? Yeah, there's a shell. But to me, this is just strange typing apt it up. Oops. apt-get update. If I can type right. That feels weird to do this on a TrueNAS system. So yes, it is running Debian. This is just really cool. We're also going to be playing with some of the packages and extending the number of Docker packages it can have in there. So yeah, I don't mind starting right with this because this is really cool. I'm working on doing a video review of it because now that it's out, but it did require us really kind of playing with it more. Does it do an upgrade if we do this? I don't think it should. Okay, neat. I'm not going to do that because my staff is actually doing stuff right now. They're logged into, they were, I don't know, they might still be. But in terms of shares, here's Windows SMB shares. And we have two of them set up right now. ISO and VM store, and this one right here. And I've been transferring files to it back and forth, and it worked. There was a lot of little goofy stuff when we first started playing with it that it wasn't working as well as we would like. But yeah, that's changed. And so far, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm impressed with the team that they're putting all this together, I should say. It's awesome seeing them. It takes so much hard work to do coding. That's why it's like, it takes longer than people often think before they, how long it takes to get released. Sometimes it takes a while. It sounds easy enough that TrueNAS was just going to modularize the middleware and move it over, but they have been built on the BSD platform for so long that I'm positive as they went through it, there was always more things that had to be gone through and, fetched and updated and made to work in the Debian world. Now, one of the cool things, and I didn't play with this, I got to look, one of my staff set it up, was add the extra catalogs, I think it is. This allows you to put more in here. Yeah, True Charts. They actually reached out to me, messaged me, and said, hey, check this out. And True Charts allows you to have more things in there. This is going to be where I think TrueNAS Scale, it's not going to be a replacement. Like I see people keep saying, well, is this going to be the end of TrueNAS Core or anything like that? Not really. It's kind of like a fork in the road here. This is probably more a blow to any other system that you didn't, unless it's like Unraid, probably the biggest one I can think of. One of the reasons a lot of people like Unraid is because it would run all their Docker images. This is more where it's going to be really kind of cool because you're going to be able to integrate. You have KVM as your hypervisor for virtualization. So that's, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Beehive, but that's one reason I never did any Beehive videos. I never found Beehive to be all that great. KVM is a better system. Combine that with the ability to have a Docker management system within here. And now you have something that's, really makes your storage server useful to have all the applications running on your storage server. So I think the home lab users are going to be all over this. It's got obviously business use case as well, but the home lab people are going to be really into a lot of this. I'm pretty excited about this. It's going to be definitely cool for sure as it slowly gets better. Actually, what I wanted to see is installed applications. Let me see if it updates some of them. They were broken when I was doing the beta. And actually, I was surprised. We were doing the nightlies and this updated in place. I thought we were going to have to reload it. So let me stop this. Oh, that one's stuck deploying. Stop. It says up to date. Is it though? It says status deploying. Okay. Some things might still be broken in here. The virtualization's not. That actually works. Oh, let's see. Hello, everyone. Lots of hellos in here. Great to see that the team over at FreeNAS and TrueNAS is in here. That's exciting. All right, stopped. Start. Let's see if it works. In theory, it might. If not, we can also just add a new one. Available applications. Let's load another one. Some of these instances might have been set up before the upgrade. And we got Nextcloud, Chia. We can install Plex. So everyone wants a Plex server, right? Next. Sure. We'll leave it all at default. I'm not going to map any storage into it. Ooh. Resource configuration. It doesn't have there's no GPU in this system, but if there was, that's cool. That's in there. Confirm options, submit. All right, kick off the install. Do we host backups for our clients? Not usually. The backups are generally performed like we're using SolarWinds backup right now, and they have all the hosting for it. We usually set up another on-site one for the clients, so we not hosting them in-house. It takes a lot, and we don't have a generator on our building, so if we wanted to build our building out as a data center, then maybe, but yeah. Did this go to beta? Yes, TrueNAS just became beta. Let's go back over to the dashboard here. This is version TrueNAS Scale. TrueNAS Scale 2106 Beta 1. They're adopting the year-month naming scheme, which I actually love because that just, to me, is a great naming scheme. I think everyone should just go there. That's how we call software now. It's based on the date it was released, and that just makes me happy. That's if everyone could just do that, that'd be great. We did find a weird bug so far. Let's go here to the storage. I didn't look yet to see if anyone reported this. So I'm just sitting here and go to the Marco Polo, edit permissions, add aces. So I thought that was funny. But it's a typo, not really a bug. It says add aces instead of access. I'm not going to harp on little problems like that. That's really, but it does show that there's actually, because it doesn't say that in TrueNAS core, it only says this in TrueNAS scale that shows that there's a different way they handle that particular piece of middleware. So it's not exactly, it's not like the code is in parity all the way in terms of how they're doing it. There's obviously little changes, but the bigger part that matters right now from a functional standpoint, which typos don't bother me, non-working stuff is obviously what becomes a showstopper for moving forward. The ACLs work. I was able to set permissions. I was able to build the shares, and so we're doing that. And we built the Debian system that worked. I don't know how the Windows 10 one. I don't know where. What is the status display? Oh, Windows 10 works. So yes, soon Windows 11. I guess that's what people are supposed to be excited about. But yeah, so Windows 10 works in here. So there's that. It's got the cool little slide out on the side with the no VNC. I like that that's integrated in here. So that's working. Log, stop, edit. I mean, it's no surprise that, the Linux box worked, but it's the Windows one that a lot of people want to know. So that's pretty cool. That's working. Let's see if the installed applications. This is not a fast system. This is one of the reasons I want to load it on a faster system. There we go. Still stuck deploying. There's clearly something wrong on there. You know what? No, it's got the right pool. Using pool there, so it's not that. Stop. We might reload this because we did carry it over from there. There's nothing really important. We just been doing testing on here. Add Docker images. Can I just pull one? Image name. Cool. All right. I'll have to play with that part later. We just started playing with it just yesterday, which I think that was when it was released yesterday, the day before. So we haven't spent a lot of time with it. We did confirm, though, because I know this question's been coming up with TrueNAS. Can you move the data from point A to point B, as in point A being TrueNAS core? Will it import the pool? Yes, it will. We did notice that we didn't have a problem with that part of it. So it doesn't seem they're both using the same version as EFS. I think the same version, at least close enough version that it didn't have a problem importing it. So we'll do some more testing on that, because that's going to be something a lot of people want to know is, do I have to offload my data somewhere else and rebuild the pool, or will it just work? And I'm pretty sure was we first reloaded a TrueNAS core, built it, and then we took that system out and moved it over to TrueNAS scale, and it seemed to import the drive just fine. So I haven't tested if it goes back the other way, but I think it will. I don't think there's any issues on there for going back and forth on it. Shouldn't be a problem. Other than that, they do have the 2FA in here, credentials. It's a little bit different, but not too hard. It's navigation's the same on the side here, but they do things a little bit differently. So instead of the cloud sync task, they have a data protection, and they have it here. So it's just very different. So it's going to be plenty more videos for me to do on setting this up, but a lot of it works in a very similar enough way. So if we pick a data set, pick one to do the snapshots on it, we'll do it on the Marco Polo one, keep for 2 weeks. Actually, see 1 week. Well, they don't have any. Wow, they don't have too many pull down options. Okay, 1 hour. Hour work. Yep, hour works. So cool. Snapshot lifetime, naming schema, schedule daily, hourly, and keep them for 3 hour. There we go. Save. All right, we'll see how that works. Yes, the updated was, I guess, if maybe someone from the FreeNAS team knows the answer to this, if we load it on our TrueNAS minis, will it actually show the system how it does? So if let me pull it up real quick. 3. We do this. Will this enclosure display work So this is the system I'll probably reload to it. This is still where all my videos reside. So I guess that's the question if someone knows, will this work? And I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. You know, I'm sure it'll work eventually. I just don't know if it'll work right now while it's in beta. So that's the only question I have so far, but I guess brute force, I'll just reload this and find out. And it's okay to reload things. I back everything up more than once. And this particular system, matter of fact, it's synchronizing with another TrueNAS server here at the office. All the data gets backed up and then sent again to the cloud. I've talked about that before. But you can see there's some definitive differences in the way this works. Matter of fact, there's still a few more things on here than there are on this side. But nonetheless, I'm excited looking at this. High CPU usage. It's probably because we're running Windows on it, and this is only a Atom processor, I think. Yeah. Atom C2758. What does that even score on CPU score? Not a lot, probably. Yeah. I don't recommend a CPU that scores that low running Windows 10 on it. So. Not to mention there's not a lot of RAM in this thing. That's why we got to put, I mean, it's got 16 gigs, but that's honestly not a lot. This system here, for example, has 64 gigs. It's still an Atom processor, but it scores a lot higher. What does this one score? Yeah, more than 2.5, about 2 and close to 2.5 times. So 2.25 times faster of a processor and 16 gigs of RAM and just a more modern system. So makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. But hey, we're excited, and we will definitely be doing a series of videos on how this works and getting it all. Where's the 100%? Reset. There we go. Back to full size. But so far, everything's going well. It hasn't crashed. That's the biggest thing. All the stuff just works. Everything's functioning. I think we broke a few things that we'll probably have to reload in terms of some with the app support, but that's minor, and that's something we'll definitely be figuring out. TrueNAS Scale has some popular 10 gig and 25 gig drivers on board. I will have to, we're wondering that right now. We're actually doing a little bit of reading on that. We're ordering different cards and making sure that we're going to see what cards we think will work best, because I bought the 25 gig UniFi and I don't want to review it until I've put 25 gig, several of them on the system. So once we have the 25 gig cards, we'll let you know which ones are working with it and go from there. All right, so lost. There we go. Bring that back. But yeah, so we'll let you know, because that's obviously a question we have right now, but I want to answer it for people before they try and start buying cards, is which one of these cards works? Which one of these cards doesn't work? And yeah. It's going to be lots Plexus start deploying. Start. Did it fail? Come on, start. I think there's too many things going. Maybe I got to stop Windows from running. Let's go ahead and connect to Windows. I should stop Windows. Cancel. Well, stop Windows inside of Windows versus the display. Man, that's slow. Of course, the next question is, once you have enough speed, you then have to, in terms of your connectivity, your networking speed, the next thing you got to do is buy a whole series of NVMe drives so you can get this thing piped even faster. I mean, it's nice to have a big pipe connected to the hypervisor, but in your hypervisor and in your storage server, trying to get them to talk at the right speed, you're going to run into limitations there. So to get the 25 gig, you're probably going to look at not just SSDs, but more specifically probably NVMEs. And yeah, so that's definitely, it's all one more things. 25 gig laptop, I don't see those coming out anytime soon. So I'm not going to hold my breath on those being around the corner. Maybe, I mean, or maybe I'm not saying they don't exist, or maybe some of them, but they're certainly not commonplace. That's not good. Yeah. All right. So far, the demo's not going well now. It has now become more broken. It's stuck. This is stuck deploying still. Does it have a log? Logs. What's the logs tell me? Come on, go system, go. It's dead, Jim. Choose a log. Well, all right. It's dead, Jim. We broke it already. It's all right. That's why we have a lab. I break things in the lab all the time. So, but my thoughts on it are you should be testing it too. You got to get these problems reported. On the basic functionality works. Actually, you know, I didn't look here on the shares. Is iSCSI in here? Yes. The two things I need working, and I'll have to test this on our lab one, as long as iSCSI and shares work, those are the two critical things to me to really start my testing, because we use iSCSI, we use NFS, and we use SMB shares. And of course, we use the other functions like the replication tasks. So as long as it will replicate to another TrueNAS server, I'm good to go. Like that's what it's going to take to make me happy with it, is making sure it can replicate to another server. So as long as that's working, that'll be exciting. Now, other things I'm working on, and did I even have this in here? Oh, you know what? I should bring this up too, as I just tweeted this out. So this, we set up a new notification system, and well, I didn't. One of my staff did, so I'll just be honest about it. But what this allows you to do is you can go to our forums and sign up, and then you can subscribe. And look, there's a bell icon over here. What it'll actually do is you can subscribe and get notifications for a specific category. And that's what this allows you to do. You go here, you can say, hey, notify me for watching this. And no one else can post in here except for, well, me and our unpaid worker bot. So you'll get unpaid worker bot posts in here. And this is an automated system we set up. So if you're interested in actually getting notified when videos come out and things like that without having to deal with the YouTube notification system being broken, this will allow you to get notified on there. Don't message, though, the unpaid worker bot. He's not very responsive. So that's something else that got done today, though, because a lot of people complain about the YouTube notification system being broken because the YouTube notification system is broken. And so that's why we just had to build our own notification system with Discourse and Zapier and an unpaid worker bot. What was the title of this? Captive portals. Yes. Right now I got Untangle running, so I could talk about that. But the captive portal thing, I think a lot of people assume there was more functionality in pfSense. I was reading through the comments on there. I'm going to do possibly a captive portal on here. I think pfSense has it better, though, because of the built-in Acme support. So you can do the Let's Encrypt. And I guess I could always just shut this. Yeah, I don't care about that. I can always shut this one down right now and switch back to the other. But one of the things about the captive portal is the people ask me, hey, do SMS authentication or do email-based authentication. Those are not things built into pfSense. It doesn't have an external connectivity. That's where you kind of need to go a little further. The other problem, well, not problem, annoyance to me is like people like, where's the payment gateway? You know, how do we tie this in with a payment gateway? And I'm like, you don't. It doesn't have a built-in payment gateway. I know a lot of people, that's one of the things you're really looking for. And it's not something that's supported in pfSense. I wanted to bring that up, though. It's just one of those too many times, and we've been telling people this a lot. So we had a customer that got sold on captive portal, and they watched their Wi-Fi usage. It's a big venue, family fun center type venue, and they thought they could use captive portal to capture all their customers' email addresses and things like that. And that right away tanked all the Wi-Fi usage. So like it got people off the Wi-Fi network because people didn't want to sit there and deal with putting credentials in and things like that just to get Wi-Fi. the reality is, unless you live somewhere, unless your venue that you're offering Wi-Fi with captive portal is somewhere where there's not cell phone service, then it's not something that's really going to benefit you. People don't like being annoyed. That's my pet peeve is when people use captive portals to try to constantly charge for internet. And I'm not saying internet should be free. Obviously, someone has to pay for it. But if your venue makes money in another way and free Wi-Fi keeps people there, then that's probably a good way to keep doing it. That's one of the annoyances. I don't know, a little rant I have about captive portal things. It was some of the comments that people had on there, and we kind of shy away from it because I've seen people try to do it, and the reality of it is, everybody has 4G on their phone. Well, not everyone, but a majority of areas have 4G and sometimes even 5G on phone systems. And people thinking they can capitalize and monetize or collect everyone's data. I'm like, one, it's just not realistic. People won't give you the data. We know every time we've watched a customer turn that system on, they just get a bunch of complaints from their people and they don't get any actionable data from it. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So that's my little quick rant on it. What would you recommend for a family storage photo docs, Intel NUC with TrueNAS, small Synology, or SyncThing internet? If you are looking for something easy, I won't lie. One of the reasons we like Synology, they have kind of just a turnkey, easy to use system. We're definitely a fan of how the Synology system works. So I think it's nice. You have to do a little more work if you do something with TrueNAS. It doesn't out of the box work in the same way Synology does. Synology gives you an easier out of the box experience. TrueNAS is going to give you the larger scalable, but requires more of your knowledge setting up all the apps experience. So, yeah, Synology for the ease of use is definitely, they check that box, especially DSM-7 is going to be released in just a few more days. We've been testing with it. DSM-7 is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, it looks way better than Windows 11. Not that that was a really high bar. I mean, they did pretty up Windows 11, but did you see DSM, those icons? So oh, Corey understands. I've ended up disabling captive portal ever because of the user issues it creates. Yes, indeed. There are times when you may need to do it. And we have one of our clients that has a use case. They offer free Wi-Fi to a facility and they tier it. And because it's part of the apartment complex that it is, they have a portal system on it, and it makes sense to do it the way they do. That way, not anyone who isn't part of the community can just get into it. So it's not a bad system that they have set up, and it's, each person logs in, each person gets a limited amount of bandwidth once they log in and are authorized. It's a nice system, but trying to annoy everyone with your terms and conditions that don't matter, or redirecting them to collect all personal data about them to advertise to them is just, yeah, that's where I hate. That's where I think captive portal's not great. Synology Photos is solid. I'm right now downloading 70, I think it's 78, somewhere between 70 and 90,000 photos out of my Google system over to Synology for some extensive testing I'll be doing. So yes, I've done a video on Synology Photos. I haven't done a video on the new one, so I'm going to do that one soon. Oh, I don't mind this derailment. This is a good derailment right here. So pfSense and captive portals and TrueNAS, but the latest WireGuard pfSense package code was merged in Netgate. Go check it out. Yes, that's a definite yes. The Netgate, the WireGuard code, and you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's shut this thing down. Where's that? Actually, we'll do it from here. Tingle, let's spin that up because why not? We're playing with things. Shut down the server. Yes, we'll shut down that server. We're going to fire up a pfSense machine. But we will definitely be checking it out. Thank you. If you don't know, this is the person actually developing the comment I have pinned right here is who's developing the WireGuard. So you're hearing it straight from the person doing the development. Let's see here. Fire up pfSense. Okay, perfect. I have a 2.52 RC, so we're going to go ahead and update to that. So, matter of fact, we will. You're watching it boot up as we speak, and we'll log into it once it's booted up. So, I'm booting up my 2.5 R2. You know, this is the real. Matter of fact, I got to rename this one. This is 2.52 RC. If you're wondering how I name all my lab things, this is the server it runs on, that it's lab test machine. And this is some of the other labs that I have in here for those curious. I got to do a updated video on how my lab works as well. So definitely on my to-do list here, because having a lab is what allows me. You know, I flipped from Untangle, flipped over to pfSense. You just go through here and spin whatever you need really quick up, so we can do things like, you know, in a live stream, someone suggests that, hey, did you know there's a new version out? I didn't, but let's go do an update on it so you can look at it. Have a captive portal. Seems work mostly well and gives us little issues. We also have a use case for it. It gives different access rights for the bring your own devices people. Yes, there's something we're saying, David, for that too. When you're bringing your own devices, absolutely. It's sometimes, even for that area, I don't think it's a bad thing to do. Ooh, okay, cool. The RC so far has worked really well. For those of you that don't know, is out. So, yeah, that 2.5 RC has been quite stable. We've been testing with it. No, I have not worked with OpenSwitch or Sonic. I don't do at some point, maybe. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's pull this. This was there we go. Yeah, whatever. Some crash. When you goof with a lot of things, you get some crashes. Does it see an update? Try reinstall it, see what it says. Bring your own disaster. Yes, that's why you put them on a separate network. Does it say it's a different version? I guess the question is this the right version right here of WireGuard? Is it the latest? There's all the latest. It changes right up till commits on June 24th. I guess the question is that the right one? I don't know. Is Next DNS safe? I have no idea. I don't use Next DNS, so I can't answer that question. Anyone know when they're going to move the Plus software for this? Move to the Plus software for community? I don't know. They said they talked about it. If you read their blog post, I don't know anyone else. I don't know anything else more than anyone else does about the blog post. So, okay, the version I'm looking for is 0.13. So my system still hasn't hit that yet. So let's go ahead and refresh here. Hold on. All right. It says I'm on the latest version here. Isn't there a way from the command line to push the package updates? Is it? I think you just run. diagnostics. I think we can do it from here, right? Where's command prompt? Says everything's up to date. All right. Package manager. Nope, still doesn't see the update. So not yet. But soon. And I need I'm once the 2 point, there's kind of a collision of things here. Once the 2.52 becomes out of release candidate and into full, then WireGuard will be generally available again for everybody. And at that point, I'll do some updated WireGuard videos. In the meantime, do check out the updates that have been coming from the developer over here that's doing all the contributions to the package. So that's, yeah, definitely really cool. And to answer the other question, this comes up a lot. I do not have any telepathic with the developers. It's one of those things like, I mean, my relationship with the folks over at NetGate is friendly, but it's not like I have some deep insight into things. I have on occasion been given products ahead of time, but there's not a lot. Like I've talked to them, but they're not giving me, 6 months out the secret roadmap that is, their roadmap. And it's part of the reason is that, they do pay attention to community feedback. They try to keep building the product the way the community wants in the best way, but also at the same time balancing that with maintaining a business. It's not an easy balance. So there's always changes that come, and what they do at one point may change later because the way they balance it. And I say it like that because the AES&I comes up. It's like they said it, everyone lost their mind that they talked about adding a feature a few years in the future, and eventually they didn't do it. And then everyone complains, well, one time you said you were going to do a thing, and it's like, oh man, people really get hung up on that. They listen to the community. They see people are unhappy with it. Well, anyways, it doesn't look like we have the latest package on that, but WireGuard is in here. And we can add tunnels and neat stuff here. Interface addresses, interface assignment. I like all the little shortcuts that are in here. Generate the keys. Save the tunnel. So very, very cool stuff on this. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Matter of fact, one of the other settings, people had asked about this, hide secrets. That way, when you're in here, it hides the interface keys versus not hiding the key. I mean, I guess if someone could look over my shoulder when I'm in the menu and see it, it's an edge case. I mean, there's people that can. I'm certainly not one of them. I mean, I can remember 4 digits, maybe 5 with high entropy at a time before they fall out of my head that I seen on the screen in a moment. So like I said, I get it why they did it, but I thought it was weird. That was one of the complaints a few people had about it, was going, hey, they really got to add a hide secrets key there. And I'm like, I guess. Status. Oh, look at this. We have the tunnels. Go here. Build addresses. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Test. Save tunnel. There we go. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was this question comes up a lot. And I don't know how I can. Oh, cool. It will let me share it. That's cool. I wasn't sure if that would show up. When you're using OpenVPN, and this is something I hope pfSense integrates. This is with the latest thing with OpenVPN. It has the ability to have a TOTP code. I was doing this with Untangle, but what this allows you to do is you can have, username, password, and then the rolling key. And a lot of people have asked about this. I didn't realize it didn't. I think it's in version 2.5 of OpenVPN when it showed up. Before, you used to have to add it to the end of your password. Now they have a spot for it, but I don't know yet if there's a way to implement that inside of pfSense. That's something I'm going to have to look at, because now that there's a way to separate it in OpenVPN, how do you configure it? Because not native to the way pfSense does it. They built it in with Untangle as a feature, and it works from the command line or it works inside of here. So I'll have to see if there's a way to extend that feature in pfSense. A few people have asked for it. Now, technically, what the challenge is when you're looking at OpenVPN, it already is 2 factors. You have to have the security certificates, which are a static factor, along with a the username and password. So you do have a static second factor. And some people are like, no, I want a non-static second factor. But I'm like, okay, OpenVPN properly implemented is actually pretty hard to get around because they need the keys, they need these certificates, then they need your username and password. But of course, it is one more layer if you add a TOTP code as well, because well, that's one more way to verify that they have something in there to create that token. So yeah, it is pretty cool. What's your thoughts on FreeBSD? FreeBSD has been around for a long time. Matter of fact, the history of FreeBSD is something I want to talk about with my friend Michael Lucas. FreeBSD is an interesting history of being there first on a lot of functionality, but being there first, but in the end, sometimes doing it better. The jail system predates essentially the container system inside of Linux. But, the Linux containers are what's really popular right now. So it's not that FreeBSD has been around a long time. It's not going anywhere soon. Matter of fact, there's still a lot of things. Yeah. As they said here, there's a significant market around FreeBSD. Huge amounts of the internet run on FreeBSD. FreeBSD is not something that's new. It's been around a long time. And I worry a little bit because I don't think it's as big as it could be, but it's still working. You know what I mean? It's not going away anytime soon. It still doesn't seem as popular as Linux, like its growth. But this is one of those weird statistics. It's kind of like when you talk about the iPhone. There's 2 ways to look at the iPhone, for example. Every year, iPhone sells more iPhones, so Apple sells more iPhones than they did previous year. So that's a growth. Every year they lose market share because Android's growing faster. So it's not that BSD isn't growing. It isn't growing as fast as Linux. It's not contracting. So it depends on how you want to look at it. So yeah, something you have, something you know. And I mean, compromising the keys if they're static is obviously an issue with OpenVPN. So if someone were to exfiltrate the keys off of someone's computer to try to duplicate an OpenVPN connection on their system, that's a problem. And TOTP would prevent exfiltration of keys. So, but the other side of it too is, I don't know, whichever one, it's something, I don't know. How many layers deep do we have? More than one TOTP or things like that? I think it's extra, but I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, and it's not necessarily where the problems are. Most of the problems I see, and it's reuse credentials. There's a huge issue, which obviously TOTP does kind of get rid of that. But how did someone get the VPN itself to log in? That's because so many of the corporate VPNs are just set up with an automatic download. I know because my wife has worked for several corporate companies that you can just go download VPNs from their website. You're like, oh, cool. All I need is username and password, which always matches their Active Directory one, and you're in. So yeah. Meraki Go versus Cisco, neither. So that's my answer to those. I don't use either one, so I wouldn't use either one. Yes, Netflix is definitely the poster child for BSD. So if you've watched Netflix, you have watched something that is built on a BSD backend. And if you've used the internet at some point, a packet traversing the internet, I don't even know if you could route to avoid all the BSD that is basically pinging around the internet to get traffic from point A to point B. BSD runs a big piece of that. BSD was there first when it came to a lot of the large scale network technology. That's why BSD, even the packet filter system that pfSense is built on, it's built on that because it was the only system that scaled compared to what Linux was able to do initially. Linux took some engineering time to solve problems and get more scalable, but BSD was there first at some of these large scalability of, internet global systems. So it's not that, like I said, BSD is not going anywhere, and it runs more things than you realize. Palo Alto runs on BSD, for those of you that didn't know. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about today? We talked about TrueNAS. I ranted about captive portals. I talked about TOTP and OpenVPN. And I talked about my Twitter post with, so you can get notified if you want to be notified of things. I can't think of anything else right now to talk about. Well, I could rant about things, because I was definitely doing that earlier. But because there's been a lot of news lately, including John McAfee died, and I think the conspiracies around it, and the conspiracies will have conspiracies because he led such a wild life. So it's going to be interesting, and yeah, it's going to be fun. You'll be setting up the load balancer from Network Check this weekend. Why would you use a proprietary load balancer and not one of the open source ones? I don't know. And based on that, I didn't watch that video, but I seen the first thing it says in that Network Check video, because I've seen people ask me about it. More than one person asked me about it. And it says paid promotion. So he's paid promoting a paid closed source system. And yeah, I don't know, kind of strange. I don't understand the appeal of Kemp VPN or Kemp load balancer versus the open source ones that are out there. Pretty much even large companies, very large, run Nginx reverse proxies and HA proxy. They're pretty much the standard. So I don't know, but in one of the things, I made a meme. I want to see if I can drag it over here. Where did it go? I've already probably lost it, but so many things get promoted, and I thought it was funny because Chris Titus commented, people are still using SonicWall. I'm like, oh no, never underestimate the power of a channel partner program. You can make a garbage product, but if you have a channel partner program that guarantees recurring revenue to IT companies, they will push for your garbage. And this is how a lot of these companies work. How are they going to unseat the existing quality products out there? They're going to put a channel partner program together, and they're going to pay people to promote it and pay people to get recurring revenue on it and tell you it's a great product even when it isn't. So yes, if people could like the video, there's 200 viewers and 50 likes. So if there's more likes, that'd be great. Oh, I'm sorry. You work with Sonic Walls daily. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do? Load balancer. Can anyone have pfSense DDNS to Cloudflare? Probably. I think it works. I've never tried. They have a lot of DDNS. Oh, we have Kevin in here. Hey, Kevin. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelvin. Kelvin. I read things bad. Could talking about your thoughts on Windows 11. I tweeted some thoughts. It goes to 11. I seen that. I actually thought this was funnier. Where'd it go? I'll share it on the screen. Share screen. Actually, hold on. I don't know which screen I have open now. Close. There we go. Share screen. There we go. Now I can share it. Looks like the only Twitter. Yeah, it's the only Twitter. Microsoft. Is this what users want? This is actually VX Underground tweeted this, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is. I mean, I'm not even clear. Like, they gave it a facelift, but I didn't really dive deep into it, and I'll kind of wait before I have any final thoughts on Windows 11. But it looks like a facelift. It doesn't look like it has any major groundbreaking things in it, other than, I mean, Android, I guess, is kind of groundbreaking that they all have that in there. But I'm just like, really? That's what you guys did? I don't know. There we go. Gave up on SonWalk because when their activation service went down and SonWalk became a straight NAT router, even though I just paid for annual subscriptions. Yeah, it's just a mess. They're messy. One of the biggest technology is particular easy replication and backup. FreeNAS has got a different target, so I don't really think Synology and FreeNAS are different target markets. Synology wants that really turnkey ease of use. FreeNAS is really targeted in the enterprise market. Like, they love the home user market and the advanced user, but they target advanced users and enterprise. They go well beyond the scalability that Synology can't. And that's where so much of their engineering is focused, that I don't think that you'll ever see. They want it to be easier, but it's like, hey, do you want to keep selling these high-end systems with this really elaborate system, TrueNAS scale, and build it on top of Gluster FS to create scale-out systems, or do you want to make an easy-to-use photo app for people? Their priorities are where I think they should be, and that's why we sell both products. And because one fits one use case. When someone says, hey, I'm a home user and I like a good photos app, hey, Synology does great for that as a turnkey system. And someone goes, I have a petabyte storage rack I need to build. I need it to perform really, really well and scale out because I plan to build 3 more and attach to it. All right, let me talk to you about a TrueNAS system. So very different targets. Biggest benefits are hot patching and Android. All right. Thank you, Kelvin. You summed up the entire. I think it took them an hour to spit that out. I've seen people complaining that they turned it into an Apple event of one more thing or something like that. I just been watching memes, honestly. No one seems that excited. So hour-long event, hot patching and Android. Hot patching is welcome if it works, because now we can blue screen and crash faster without having to reboot and do it. I don't know. Let's see. So what do you think about SD-WAN? SD-WAN is cool. Do you need it? Everybody wants it, but that's the question. Do you need it? It's a great thing. I don't know. So my thoughts are, for people that want to pay for SD-WAN, great. The misconceptions around SD-WAN. I may have to do a video about that, because people assume if you have 2 ISPs, you can just automatically bond them together and seamlessly fail over with no mechanical understanding of mechanicals. I don't know the straight word. Deeper understanding of how packet routing works and how state tables work. So this is, yes, it's complicated in the way SD-WAN really needs to work. And I'm probably going to maybe do some videos on it at some point. You need it to change what layer it operates at to bond together the multiple connections for that seamless failover. That means you need to take 2 different ISPs, for example, connect them to a router, bond it together, come out at a data center. That's the extra piece that people miss, is true SD-WAN needs to be bonded and come out at a data center somewhere, or some cloud hosted system, wherever that may be. That's how you get the systems together where it works. It's kind of, I need to do a bunch of visuals to really explain that right, so people understand the difference between WAN failover and an SD-WAN system. And of course, SD-WAN is a buzzword, so we have to be very specific what we're talking about, because 0-tier is an SD-WAN system. And it's not an SD-WAN for failover, though. It's a different type of SD-WAN system. So you got to get your buzzwords all in a row before you do the video. Yes. New Windows release, install Pop. Pop OS, still my favorite OS. Let's see. Do you think the small business segment is underserved? I see a lot of enterprise stuff and a lot of consumer stuff, but the price deployment support require a huge gap. I think that the Synology is a great small business solution. We sell a lot of Synology to small businesses. We think Synology fits in small businesses very well. especially with all the stuff coming out in DSM-7. It's still TrueNAS is a business use case when we've sold movie studios, large medical facilities. For example, in 2020, we sold a storage server, a very large storage server, to a place because they had to do so many chest x-rays because of the events of 2020. So that's not something Synology would have been able to handle. So that's where that niche falls in. For TrueNAS, we sold them our TrueNAS system. Synology fits a different niche. We have a lot of small businesses. We have a couple design places that have like 3 people. Works great. My cousin sold her on Synology. She uses it for her YouTube channel to store all of her videos, and her editor has a Synology, and they have the files synced with each other. It's a solid use case. So, yeah. Still a fan of it. Give it a try. It was okay, but didn't feel like enterprise business, but a hobby solution. I think it works fine. There's other solutions out there for the basics. We helped a couple people set that up, and it worked for what they want to do. It just rotates through and displays things. So it seemed to work fine for them. They don't have a lot of changes they're making. Oh, let's see. What else is in here? Windows 11 is a free upgrade. I don't know if that's true. I bet they charge for Windows 11. I'm just glad they got rid of Cortana. So we don't have to have an annoying talking thing every time you turn it on. That is a good feature there. Synology works great for Office 365 and Google Workspace backup. That is a cool feature that they built that in, and that's a big selling point for people that want to have a local copy of their Office 365 or Google system. Because instead of, you're already paying Google Cloud for it, and then you pay another cloud fee for backing it up. Or you could have it local, and that's a good copy. You have one in the cloud and you have one local. So there are some Windows that can upgrade for free when Windows 11 rolls out. Some. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. That's the stuff we'll have to dig into. And here's the thing. What's the incentive to upgrade to Windows 11? What is the big deal about it? What is the killer thing? I mean, if it actually does hot patching and that hot patch isn't hot garbage, great. That's worth paying for. But there's nothing in Microsoft's history that makes me think that they're going to fix patching. It got bad in Windows 7. It was terrible in Windows 8. It's still bad in Windows 10. They just constantly have problems with it. They've made the news numerous times. I always see people say, well, I don't have any problems with mine. Clearly, you don't manage as many systems as we do, managing for clients to watch all the stupid problems with Windows. It makes the headlines. Matter of fact, I think it even made Forbes at least once this year for having such a terribly broken update system. So I don't know if they're actually requiring the TPM chip. So I heard Steve Gibson say that, but I don't know if that's absolutely a requirement because it's a beta release. So it's kind of a matter of, is it really something they're doing? That's what I don't know. So I don't have an answer to that. Officially from Microsoft. Microsoft needs to make a statement on it. Steve Gibson has an opinion on it. So when Microsoft says, here's the requirements, TPM absolutely required, then that's what kind of, and there's a lot of systems that have TPM chips in it. So it's not that big of a deal. It's older systems don't, but that's whatever. What's the best way to shut down hosts? Set up an entire system with Ansible that talks to the UPS monitor that sends out a command to shut down all your systems. So that's, yeah. Is it officially announced on their page? I don't know. I haven't read the official announcement. I heard Steve Gibson talk about it on Security Now, but I've not read, because today was the announcement date and I was busy working, not watching Windows announcements. So we'll see. They will require TPM. It's on the specification sheet, so Windows requirements. Yep. It's official. You have to have it. There we go. TPM. Oh no, now you have to have a TPM. Such is life. Oh well. For those of you that don't have TPM, you're not going to have to run Windows 11. You won't be forced into it. Auto HDR, BitLocker to go, Client Hyper-V, Spatial Sound, Teams, more Teams integration. There you go. I exited Windows 10 years ago, so come join me on the Exodus for Windows. Yeah, most home user equipment's not going to have it, so the hardware industry will rejoice at this requirement. Yes, you did. Matter of fact, we have a few UAPs for testing. I'm logged into the right account. We are. We have. Here's the two of them. We have Wi-Fi 6 and another Wi-Fi 6. So Wi-Fi 6 and also Wi-Fi 6. So, yep, we have them. We're doing some testing on them. So, yeah, these are the long range ones too. We have these, and we have the UniFi aggravation switch. Ain't doing much right now. Just got one thing plugged into it. It's got some SFP 28 ports. It's funny because this is an SFP plus port 28, and this is an SFP 28 port. How will TPM requirement affect VMs? There are TPM pass-through for VMs. Can you put one of those E's after the 6? Maybe. So it's going to be, I believe there are, actually, we got to do this. This is also an option too. It's the VTPM extensions in there. So this is, I've not messed with this much because I don't really use TPMs, but this is another way you can handle it. There are virtual trusted platform modules, VTPMs, that allow for x80 machines with a TPM motherboard to make use of VTPM. So there are options for it. So if you need that support, you're going to be able to have it. This is going to be interesting, though, when I do these, because I learned when you're doing this, if you set this right here, whoops, if SFP torrent don't support mixed, so you can't mix the speeds on these. So that's going to be, I'm waiting on the cards to come in still. Well, we're ordering cards and cables and everything else. So, oh, the phone's here. Can you hear the phones here when they ring? I got my office door open, so. Yeah, I'm working on the review. I just don't have the cables yet to review it. So I have the device. It's plugged in and running in my office here. I just don't have the cables to hook it up at 25 gigs. I was waiting until I actually hooked it up at 25 gigs before I do the review. Let's see. Okay, so you can faintly hear it in the back. Got it. Fun stuff. Any questions for the classes over here today? I've gone for an hour, so I got to get outside and do a few things. Any final questions? Any final questions? What is stop. Share screen. Put the chat back over here. We bounced all over the place. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, I got the Campbell soup thing, so there's that. We'd like to see more layers, Leaf-Sided Pro. I think it's probably hot garbage and not well implemented. So maybe I'll play with it, but I don't think it's going to be great. I'm going to throw that out there. Oh, yeah. I am working on DSM 7 videos. For those of you that haven't seen DSM 7. I don't think how they got hacked is coming back right now. So that's all I have to say about that. I can't get Xavier in on it. So let's see. Stop. Share. So this is what it looks like. Look at those icons. Isn't that nice? Looks pretty. So yes, I've been running it. It's been released. So what version is this? This is going to be 7. This is it's still a release candidate, but yep. Definitely videos are coming on this. Updates to our pre-release. Yeah, I know that. Clear. Is there any updates for this? Oh, it's in a package center. But lots of testing. Ooh, look at these. Join beta. I already joined the beta here for Active Insights. That's kind of cool. Virtual here. Yeah, more stuff. I got Plex running on here. But yes, more videos definitely coming on that. Let me reset the size back to 100 so I don't get confused. I got to see this the other day. Who can identify what kind of car that is? That's the trivia question before I leave here. Who can identify what kind of car that is? That is a very unusual and rather rare vehicle. Do you think Wi-Fi 6 from Ubiquiti is ready for production? I'm holding my. You can't get enough of them to put them in production, so no. Nope, it's not. People notice my Tesla. Yeah, that is my Tesla. This is a Bricklin SV1. Pretty cool system. This is absolutely an incredible condition, by the way. It's not just your average. I was really impressed when I seen it because, I mean, look at this thing. It is. But of note, there's something about the car. So this right here is the original Bricklin, and it's missing. Look right here and look right here. The car overheated, and the guy added that to keep the car ventilated better. I was like, that's cool, because he says it was one of those little nuances, like they wanted it to blend into the car. That's not from the factory. They actually added this to the car so they can make it more drivable, because it does, they do drive it. And yeah, it's a pretty rare car. The other thing too, this is hydraulic, and this is run by air. So they did swap that out, because the hydraulic one was known to leak and get oil all over the back of the car. These doors are automated. So you press a button and the doors open up. You don't open the doors. It's like there's an automation. There's a little lever right here. It actually does it with air. So yeah. It's definitely an off the wall. Look up Bricklin and you'll find it. So that was still trivia for you. I like car shows, in case you didn't know. That's when I do leave here to get away from the keyboard. You can find me frequently at like a car show. Did I take an inside picture of it? I took a back picture. It didn't show anything else. So it looks like from the other side. Just a neat car, though. It was pretty cool. It doesn't have a grill because it's got a scoop at the bottom right here that pulls the air in, and it pulls the air in right here around the bumper. It's a really unique design. Yeah, the overheating was because the air would come in, but the way the wall goes in the back, it didn't vent out. So that's why they have the vent outs on there. Ariel Square 4. Neat. I've seen the Ariel cars. They're pretty cool. Yep. Rip it up with the Ninja. So I don't think I see any other cool cars. Oh, oddly, this is custom. This was in our parking lot. I was like, this is a one of a kind. It's obviously some kind of kit powered by a Ford motor. But yeah, this is actually in a parking lot at my office. It was there temporarily. I took a picture because I was like, that's cool. Anything else? Anything else? I can't think of anything else. Yep. All right. That's about it. I don't know what you mean by per IP captive portal, because captive portal, to do it per IP address, just set the IP address. Just go in there to the captive portal. It says MAC address or IP address, and you set it up. There's not really, if you watch my captive portal video, which actually I'll show right now, if you edit a captive portal, there you go, per IP, add. All right, that's per IP address. I seen you ask that question, but I don't understand the question, because you just right here, direction from to, bandwidth up, bandwidth down, save, type in IP address. On PF Sense. Yeah, this is PF Sense. Yeah, it just sits there without pulling in the top because the new air can't remove. Yep, you got it. You got it. I think that's why they added the vent on there. So, all right. Thank you, everyone who joined. If you want to subscribe to notifications, head over to my forums. We have that new thing. I posted it on Twitter. You can message in the forum if you're not sure where it is, but it's the YouTube announcements, and just follow that. That's one way you can get notified of new videos. A lot of people had asked for that because the YouTube notification system is less than less than wonderful. But anyways, thank you everyone for joining, and see you next time. See you next Thursday for sure. And I have a few more videos in between that I'll be releasing. All right, thanks. Oh, before I leave, for all of you that are still here, next week, and follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting about this. It got rescheduled, but next week I'll be doing another live stream with a few friends on another channel. But I'll be tweeting it and sharing it all out and make it as easy to find as possible. So I'm looking forward to that. It's my friends over at the Tech Bar, and they do kind of a cool interview with other tech people. So that'll be next week, right after my live show. So I'll do my live show, and then I'll do their live show kind of back to back. All right, thanks.